Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Soulight Hypnotherapy. My name is Kirsten and I have another Trump reading for you guys. This is for the week of November 26th through December 2nd. Just events that might be coming up around Trump this week. That's all I asked for, just a general reading. What's around Trump's presidency. And so whatever I get, that's what I'll share with you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope that you enjoyed your holiday. It was pretty crazy at my house. Wow, boy, howdy. We had made a pact, don't discuss politics, but sure enough, somebody had to discuss politics. And then a relation of mine who is a Republican defended that Trump is not a racist. I still can't believe it. And then went after Maxine Waters. I got up in a fury and just walked out. I didn't want to hear that. I didn't even want to know that this person thought this way. Disappointed, and I don't know if I'll see this person the same way again, if I'll have respect. I don't know. But with another family member, it turned into an altercation, like a physical one. So it's really dangerous to talk politics over the holidays, guys. The family friction that we experienced was not good and may not be repairable. So just warning to all of you out there, with Christmas coming up and more family celebrations and get-togethers, really it's important that if we can't be diplomatic and speak with tact and listen to one another and realize, to be honest with you, you're going to have to realize that there is no converting anyone. People have taken really strong sides, and I don't believe that you can convert anyone through anything that you can say. It takes time to unbrainwash somebody, guys. So just don't engage it, and if you have to, do what I did and just walk out. If you don't want, if you can't hear it and you can't keep your, if you can't keep your steam under control, then just get out. And I'm glad that I did before it got really ugly. So I hope the majority of you had better Thanksgiving than I had. So that being said, this reading, it looks like it's going to be mainly about the border situation, the border crisis, lines drawn in the sand between the migrants and Trump and the Mexican border, between Putin and the Ukraine, between Congress and Trump, and also Khashoggi interest in issues as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the reading. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please share my videos with your friends. Thank you so much for everyone who supported the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, you may do so. There's a donate button on the homepage, or you can join me on Patreon, and I would love to have you be a part of my Patreon family. And thank you to everyone who is there for all your comments and feedback. Now, let's begin the reading. We start off with, I don't really necessarily have designated or signified lines this time. So let's just dive in. So we start with the Nine of Swords here. And I have two decks to depict the Nine of Swords because sometimes I find that the traditional Rider-Waite depiction or illustration is a really good illustration. But I also like to use other cards because they deepen the reading and give me another nuance, to it. So we have the Nine of Swords here. Okay. This is definitely some sort of crisis, some sort of line in the sand, you can't cross this line. The Nine of Swords can mean an intentional act of cruelty, or an act that could cause pain, wounds, or death. Someone feels conspired against and powerless to do anything about it. This is a nightmare. Someone's worst fears are keeping them up at night, and there is unrest. There's unrest in a person. There may be unrest in a situation, a crisis at the border, a crisis with the Middle East. We have the Ten of Swords, which to me has come to represent the Khashoggi incident as well. As well as conspiracy with Russia, the whole Julian Assange thing. So I'm just seeing those relations, and you guys know that I read in layers. So there's a lot of scenarios that will be covered, or a lot of energies that will be described to you, and the energy will play out with different people in different ways, on different levels and different degrees. And I can't possibly call out all of those scenarios to you. So it's like, I allow you to see the cards so you can see the energy. And then when it plays out in real life, you'll go, oh, aha, that was that. It'll resonate. So I feel like this is some sort of unrest, okay? It could be an unrest in a person. It could be an unrest in Ivanka. The blonde hair always makes me think of Ivanka. It could be unrest in a situation, or in a territory with the Middle East, with a border situation with Russia. Unrest caused by the investigation. Someone is drawing a line in the sand, and you can't cross this line. And if you do, it will lead to your ruin with the Ten of Swords here. There is fear and anxiety, great worry about what lies ahead in the future. What will the near future bring? Someone is projecting their fears about the future onto others. Someone can't see past their own fears about the future. They can't see past their own beliefs. They can't see past their own reasons for their fears. Okay? And so however this energy plays out, again, it could be an event at the border. It could be talking about the Russia seizing the Ukrainian ships. And this is a line drawn in the sand for somebody. It could be about Trump's family interests, or his money, or his taxes. We have the Ten of Pentacles in the reading. That could be the line that's drawn in the sand. And again, it could be someone drawing a line in the sand about the Khashoggi killing. Both of these cards, the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords, are cards about betrayal. And you may feel, someone feels betrayed by someone, and they may be feeling disgraced, or this is a disgraceful event. Whatever this event is, it's disgraceful. I feel like this card could be referring to either one or all of the events that I have mentioned. So I clarified its meaning. And I got the the absence card. Absence reversed. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Absence reversed is clarifying that this card is talking about, again, a barrier, an obstacle, an impediment. And or a wall. Again, that line that someone shouldn't cross, but I feel like they did cross this line. So now there's a lot of anxiety, fear, and worry, and conflict ensuing because someone crossed this line. This card says that these issues will not be coming to an end anytime soon. And Trump, despite his own worries and fears, he can't see past his own worries and fears. He's going to be very detached from the worries, fears, and anxieties that this event or these events could be causing others or the collective involved. Okay? All right. So, Trump's emotional reaction will be to detach from everyone else's problems but his own. As far as his physical action or reaction to this event or events, we have the Ten of Swords clarified by the enemy card or Namiko. I'm using the 12 Chairs Tarot deck, the Modern Spellcasters deck, and the Sibilla and Divina, and La Vera Sibilla, okay? If you want to know what decks I'm using. So, like I said, his physical action or reaction is depicted in these cards here that he will take, most likely the steps he might take. So his action may be to bring something or someone to an end, to bring them down, to fire them or to dismiss them. Another clarifier that we have that sums up this line is disgrazia. So, we see the fire here, and this could mean dismiss. So the potential is there. I'm just reading you the potential of the cards. So his action may be to end someone or something, to bring them down, to fire them or to dismiss them, to ruin them utterly. Whoever it is that he sees as his enemy. Now, just intuitively reading the cards, we know that Trump is on his way to see Putin shortly. And for me, red always stands for Russia or China. It can sometimes stand for something else that's red to me. But right now it's standing for Russia. And Russia is our enemy, collective enemy for America, right? But not Trump's. He's Trump's friend. Intuitively reading these cards, we know that Trump is on his way to see Putin. And this is maybe Putin here in the red, representing the enemy. And Trump, this would be Trump here about to walk into the path of the enemy, walking into some trouble that is set by his enemy's design. So Putin may cause some trouble for Trump. He may cause Trump to trip himself up badly this week, real bad. Directly or indirectly, okay? Or on all levels. It culminates to that. This is a culmination to a bad event. So since this is Trump's actions or reactions, like I said, he may be planning a trip this week. He may be planning to trip someone up this week. It says it leads to some kind of peril. It leads to somebody's peril. Now this enemy card talks about someone holding a grudge. They hold a grudge. They hold a grudge for past errors or past mistakes. So this could be very much a card of taking some kind of revenge out on someone. So Trump could be taking some kind of revenge out on someone this week. He wants to ruin them. He has a lot of enemies, so who this applies to, I don't know. But unbeknownst to him, it will in the end cause his own ruin. It will cause him to trip himself up. Trump may feel like he's walking into a trap, like a perjury trap. He will be claiming that he's been conspired against, that he's been set up, that he's the victim of a conspiracy or a trap. And with Disgrazia here, to clarify these two cards as an outcome, I can't rule out some sort of crisis happening this week. A major traumatic event or crisis may happen this week, okay? Or this may be referring to something that happened in the past, or both, okay? Because I'm reading past, present, future, but I'm also reading past, present, future. So this is something right now, as well as something that happened in the past. All right? Whatever it is that happens, it goes down. Trump is not going to blame himself for anything that happens, for any crisis or any casualty or any act of violence or any death. He will claim he's the victim, that it wasn't known to him. There may be some violence that happens soon. I can't rule that out with these cards here. The degree of which could be minor to the highest degree. This is the worst card in the deck for La Vera Sibilla. Well, this is the worst card, but this is pretty doggone bad too. There is danger ahead for someone. See, he's walking into danger. And that could be a collective danger. It could be referring to Trump walking into some danger. It could be, you know what I'm trying to say. And it could be the people, the migrants at the migrants coming towards the border. They could be heading into a very dangerous situation, a lot worse than, maybe they expect. This is something that happens suddenly and unexpectedly, a casualty or a crisis, a traumatic event. There's very heightened energy here and a feeling of powerlessness to control this event, causing angst, worry, and fear. You don't see it coming. So how that plays out, guys, well, guess we'll find out when it happens, okay? But the other nuances that I said of Trump feeling like he's walking into a trap, I think that still applies. I think it all applies. In my readings, it all applies. It really does. On some level, it will all apply. I really can't separate any of it, and that's why I say so many things, because I can't separate any of it. And on some level, in my own readings, everything that I say in the card is happening. Okay. Let's move on. We have the Seven of Wands here. And again, I'm just using the same two different decks to depict the Seven of Wands. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands in this next event that's going to be around Trump this week. And I still feel it's related to this one. I feel kind of like the whole reading is talking about the same three things. Mainly this border or crisis incident, a line drawn in the sand, the Putin issue, and the investigation, of course. So this could be a border, a wall, again, and someone defending their territory. This could be Trump. And there's another line drawn in the sand. You can't cross over. Someone may want to occupy someone else's territory, Putin and Ukraine. There is defensive stance that is taken. The military, the Mexican Guard. Someone is defending their ground, defending what they're doing. That could be just Trump arguing why he's doing what he's doing, defending what he's doing, defending what someone is doing, defending Putin. defending his fearful reasons. Huh. They're determined to get a victory and not to back down, whoever this is that is defending themselves. And again, that could be Trump defending himself. That could be Putin defending himself. Whatever it is. And it could be the migrants defending themselves, wanting to occupy land. And the defense of that. And there's a determination to get a victory. So I feel like this is shared energy, and I don't feel like either side wants to back down. Someone is 6 times more powerful than the other, than their antagonizers, or their antagonizer is 6 times more powerful than they are. Again, it's shared energy. You have to apply it to the situation. And someone is trying to persuade in this card, in this 7 of Wands, someone may be trying to persuade this hard-headed person, Trump, to back down, to pull back, or trying to persuade Putin, back down, pull back. Don't do this. Don't continue with this potential action. But this hard-headed person, whether it be Trump or Putin, and even the migrants on some level, the persuasion is more of a threat. You need to back off. You need to get away. There's no backing down. There's a hard head. There's a determination to proceed, to go forward, and to protect one's territory or family. And they will not listen to advice or one's advisors. To clarify this 7 of Wands, I have infantilism. This is also known as the childish card. So someone could be acting very childish, or someone's child is up at night and worried, not sleeping, haunted about their future. Someone is fearful for their children. Okay? Again, shared energy, apply it to you. You'll know how it's applied. But let's go back to the meaning of the card. It means an unfavorable charter, trip, move, or plan. An unfavorable relocation. Things are not going to go well, and there may be an unfortunate incident. And then I also feel like this card is saying that, these cards are saying that there is a warning. Somebody is warning another of an unfortunate incident if they don't pull back and stop doing what they're doing. So someone is warning or threatening that their worst nightmare will come true. So this could be some kind of, on different levels, Ivanka being warned, if you don't go along, if you don't come over to this side, come back to this side, on this side, and not that side, your worst nightmare is going to come true. It could be anyone being threatened like that. It could be the same thing like it could be Lindsey Graham telling Trump, if you don't go along with what Congress wants you to do about Khashoggi, this could really go bad for you. There's like some sort of pre-warning. Trump, don't do this. someone could be warning Trump, don't keep blocking this border like the way you're doing, in such a threatening way. But someone is being hard-headed and not listening to that warning. They're determined, like I said, to get through and to occupy a territory. So, I understand what I'm saying. I sure hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So now we have 2 cards fell out when I was shuffling for this section here. I got the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. And I don't know why, I just pulled out this 10 of Pentacles as well. I feel both will help me tell the story. So this is in the position of Trump's action or reaction to this border situation, this line drawn in the sand, and this threat and this persuasion to pull back, okay? And don't forget that the investigation and is also playing out here. Okay, so I feel like Trump's action or reaction is for his security, the security of his family, to secure his territory, to secure his territory, to secure his family, to secure his friendship, his connections, his party, or his taxes. The 10 of Pentacles can be talking about your taxes, can be talking about your family history, your records, documents, legal documents, money, big wealth, and businesses. So he's trying to ensure with the 9 of Pentacles the safety of all that. And he's going to protect his friendships. He's going to protect his alliances. This is my collusion card. It's 2 men. But this has got a lot of these cards all have many nuances that all apply to this reading. So bear with me, guys. You may have to listen to it more than once. I feel like Trump is going to try to work some kind of a deal to ensure the safety and the security of all the things that we've been discussing here. It may be after a deadly connection or deal. It may be after a deadly connection or crisis that a deal is able to take place. Okay? I clarified the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups with the wedding card. So the wedding card talks about an emotional tie. And I want to just lay the cards out and just kind of let them speak, you know. Okay, remember this is the same card as this one. It just looks more like a family unit than this one does. This looks more like a community. And then there's again there's a fence or a wall. So this is that border. They're on 2 different sides. Okay? 2 sides of a family. 2 sides of the house. So you know you can see the different levels of what I'm talking about here. We're not only talking about Trump's family, we're talking about Congress, and we're talking about the Republicans and the Democrats, and we're talking about the Mexican border, the American side and the Mexican side, okay? And we could be talking about a family unit, a husband and a wife. Okay. This music is getting me a little bit too mellow. Let me just turn it down a little. I'm becoming too zony right now. When I do that, I can't concentrate very well. So, again, I said this deal may take place after a crisis has happened. There's so many levels. The Khashoggi crisis, the crisis at the border. There could be something that's going to happen soon. There may be a death or a casualty, okay? Or some other kind of crisis. And then Trump will want to work out a deal. And this involves an emotional tie. And within an emotional tie, a family emotional tie, there is going to be betrayal. Betrayal. Within an agreement or an arrangement, a pact or a deal, there will be betrayal. Okay? Something done behind someone's back. It may have already happened, and it may be something that's about to happen. Okay? Based on the time frame of it in the reading. So a family tie could betray Trump. I've said that before. He doesn't see it coming. He doesn't see it coming. Betrayed by a female. This card always refers to look to the wife, look to the female, look to the daughter. Look to a woman. This betrayal could be coming from his immediate family or his indirect family, like his party, his base, his political family, the Republicans. A group of people that are really close to him, that he surrounds himself with. His own house, his administration. He will be betrayed by someone that he trusts and didn't expect to get betrayed from. Ten of Swords. The wedding says, again, to look to the wife, to look to the female in the party, or to look to the past family history. And it just says that Trump is really trying to guard his money. He's really trying to guard his records, his taxes, and his business history. He really wants some sort of assurance and protection about that. This may be a deal that is happening behind the scenes because there's some sort of deal happening behind the scenes, behind someone's back. Now, I know that he claims to be working a deal with Mexico at the border, and he did something. He tweeted about that deal behind whoever that person is he's dealing with, behind their back. Or he said something about the deal that I don't think he was supposed to say, or that he is trying to persuade someone to do. Okay, putting pressure on, using leverage. Just looking at this Ten of Pentacles again, I'm looking at this wall, I'm looking at this fence, and I feel like Trump is trying to work some kind of a deal about the wall, the border crossing, okay? And it involves two different tribes of people, two different ethnicities, the Mexicans and, Americans, which are all the ethnicities, by the way. Americans are not white. Americans are all ethnicities. But the cards speak in symbolism, okay? Two different tribes. But there's a backstab or a betrayal involved. Again, that could be what the negotiations that are going on in secret, and some sort of betrayal of that negotiation, okay? That became public. There is some sort of celebration here. I'm reading the cards to the best of my abilities, guys. I'm just reading you what I see. I'm not trying to make sense of it. When I try to make sense of it, then I get stopped. I just have to read the cards as what I see. So I do see some kind of a celebration here about these negotiations, almost like the house, the two parties within the house are working together behind Trump's back. And I say that because this is a card of intrigue for me. There's happiness about this man's ascension or rise or promotion or whatever it is they're celebrating, but there's also talk behind his back. Maybe there's some envy or some jealousy wanting to be where this person is, but there's definitely intrigue and gossip behind this person's back and maybe planning to overthrow or take what this person has in the future. Okay? There's self-interest in this relationship. These are fair weather friends, this party, this family. They're just in it for what they can get. But back to what I feel like I'm getting at with these cards is there may be some sort of negotiation within the parties, between the parties, Democrats and the Republicans, right, about Trump's security, Trump's family, Trump's taxes, or sanctions put on Putin, or sanctions put on Saudi Arabia, some sort of action or deal. Okay, there's some sort of agreement that's taking place between the two parties behind Trump's back, some sort of harmonious agreement and understanding or arrangement that they want to do. Okay, so just to try and sum this up as a final clarifier, we have the La Alegría card. For me, like I said, this is that card of intrigue and gossip behind someone's back. And it's shared with the Chatterer card came out next to, I feel like I have to arrange my board a little. It's hard because I want to show the bottom and I want to show the top. So hold on. Okay, the Chatterers came out next to Trump's hard head, right? Or Putin's hard head. The Chatterers reversed. This is a card of gossip. This is a card of talking behind someone's back. All right? As an outcome, I feel like this card is saying that there will be a successful deal. This is a card of success and achievement. After a crisis, there will be some sort of a deal on the table or a successful deal or an arrangement that is made, harmony between the parties or the house, some sort of agreement about the territory, a territorial agreement or a treaty. But there's a warning to be careful in this negotiation to whoever this applies to, because either the negotiation is going on behind Trump's back or the side that is not aligned with the red, Putin, Russia, will be betrayed in the end, okay? The side that is not the Republican will be betrayed in the end. So there's like a warning about this negotiation. The Mexico may end up not happy with this treaty in the end. Okay? All right. That makes sense. Just a warning there. Because there's backstabbing, there's betrayal. But La Alegría does mean that a difficult time will come to a positive end. It may just be temporary, but it looks like there'll be some sort of good outcome or achievement. Now, on another note, I'm picking up, because of the cards next to it, and I don't know if you can see it, I'm picking up something about the royal family. Now, I don't know why this is coming out in this reading, but I'm just going to go with the flow and just say it since I see it. I'm seeing something about the royal family. It could be a wedding or an event. Okay? Because this is definitely, it doesn't have to be the royal family. It could be a wedding or an event between two parties. There's some sort of blending of families here. But if I were doing a love reading, I would definitely say this is a wedding event that's taking place, a celebration. The families are getting together and they're celebrating the union. And as I was saying that, I just felt like, I was thinking, London, because this is a city. And I'm thinking, the royal family, and I don't know why. And it could have something to do with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, an interracial couple. So I hope that, I know that they're expecting a child. I hope that everything is going to be okay with their child. But there may be like some talk about this couple this week coming up. So I know I got off track there, but it just came out and it's really strong. So let's go on to the final column here. We have the Ten of Cups in this deck and the Ten of Cups in this deck. Now, in the past, this deck has been the cups. For some reason, in the past, for me, in this deck, has the association of Michael Cohen confessing to his crimes. So bear that in mind as I keep reading, but it has other meanings too for me right now. The Ten of Cups can be a family event, a large group or gathering of people. It could be the holidays that are coming up, Christmas. It could also be a major trip or a journey. When the Ten of Cups is present, something ends or is concluded in the best possible way. So there may be some sort of agreement or arrangement, sharing or bonding within a family or within a party, just like I mentioned down here. Something that's agreed to, but it's done behind Trump's back. See, the chattering is done behind Trump's back. So we're kind of reclarifying what I already said. Now this could be a harmonious time, a good trip, a time of peace. It's a peaceful gathering, and there's no fighting. So there's some sort of peace arrangement that is made here. Regarding any of the things I mentioned, the Mexican border, Putin, there's some sort of common ground that the parties, the family is able to come to, but that Trump maybe not be a part of? There could also be a nuance of an arrangement within Trump's family of support or friends, including Putin, that we don't know about. Okay, a sharing of information, classified information, secret information, secure information, and the hiding of documents. And I said that last week. Okay. Let's talk about this trip. I feel like this is a trip to a foreign place. We have a ship here, a foreign place. A journey that's planned and discussed. Chattering clarifies the Ten of Cups. And it's reversed. Again, two women gossiping in this card. When it's reversed, it means that there are negative people around you. or surrounding you. And they're talking about you, or they're talking around you, and this talk is negative. So I feel like this card is saying, this card is saying that these cards are saying that there is some big talk or big news about a family, or the royal family, or Trump's family, the parties within the party, the Democrats and the Republicans within the House. There's some big talk, big negative talk coming from these people, or about these people. Negative talk about this trip, negative talk about these two coming together, Putin and Trump. Negative talk about their conspiracy and collusion in the past, their past history, and money and records and money loans and all that, okay? All that's playing out on some level with the characters I've told you about. And there could be talk about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, this unlikely alliance. There could be some negative talk about their child. It could be racial, okay? And this could be also big talk about this unlikely alliance between Mexico and America. Again, chattering reverse is saying that there's negative people around you unsuspectedly, and they are talking about you, and they're invading your privacy. They're talking about your private life, or your private home life, or your marriage, or your family. So, guys, break that down how you like. I see it. I hope you do. I hope you do. Listen to it again if you don't. This negative talk is purposely causing fright, causing people to be afraid of other people, to be afraid of other tribes, other ethnicities. Okay? And going into the Putin nuance, there is a dynamic or a nuance that's playing out here of a threat that is just a scare. It's just a bluff. So it may be that there's a call for someone to back down, to pull out, to pull away, to give back those ships to Putin. But it's just a bluff. He knows it's a bluff, right? There's a sharing and a bonding between friends and family, those of like-mindedness. And I just feel like that's talking about Putin and Trump. And Putin knows that any threat that comes out of Trump's mouth is just a bluff. Okay. To complete this reading, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. I don't really need this one here. I don't know why I pulled it out. The Knight of Pentacles. And it's clarified by the Inconstancy card reversed. Now this is in the position of Trump's action or reaction to an arrangement or an agreement. Done behind his back. This could be Trump's action or reaction to talk about his family, his family history. The investigation into his family. and lines drawn to scare people from other tribes, from other families entering the territory. It has a lot of nuances, okay? So just follow me. The Knight of Pentacles talks about going in circles, not getting anywhere, a slow pace, a snail's pace, a methodical approach, working out the details, standing guard protectively, watchful and waiting, and wanting guarantees, security, and assurances before making a commitment. This could also be talking about a legal protective document, a license, a green card, a citizenship, a right to asylum, okay? And as I say that, I'm looking at these cards here, which is giving me this understanding, okay? Because we have the White House here, City House, which can stand for the White House. It can stand for a hospital or an asylum. It can stand for a city. Next to this card, a port city, a foreign city, distant relationships, distant friends, distant family. All right. There's a lot of layers. So I feel like this is more than just Trump's action or reaction. I feel like this layers into other stuff, okay? So I'm just going to go with it. I feel like this could be not only Trump's actions or reactions, this could be the actions or reactions of the Democratic Party going forward in the future towards Trump, or the investigation. It could also be the stance that Putin takes towards Trump. It could be the Mexico. Okay. So when I clarified this Nine of Pentacles, I got inconstancy reversed. So this is having doubts. Either Trump has doubts, the Republicans, the Congress has doubts. There's doubts, and someone wants assurances. They want protection for their money, for their records, for their taxes, for their territory, for their land. They want assurances from the House. They want assurances from America. Okay. So I feel like Trump may be using some kind of leverage to gain support, the Ten of Cups, from his House, the Republicans, Congress, the Senate, to protect his family, to protect his money, to protect his tax records. He doesn't want something out there for public consumption. He doesn't want something out there for public consumption. He wants his business private, kept private. He doesn't want anyone meddling into his affairs or talking about his private affairs. He doesn't want it released, I guess. He may want to keep certain documents from being released. I feel like someone is trying to assure his doubts here with the Knight of Pentacles, and is trying to assure his family's, or he is trying to assure his family's doubts. He may be trying to assure the doubts of Putin when he meets with Putin. And when he meets with Putin, he will be sharing private, secure information about the country. Looking at this Knight of Pentacles, this brown-skinned man is just making me think of a Hispanic person. So this could be Mexico guarding the port of entry. This is a port city. The port of entry, the port to the land, the border, the port of entry. Hold on, I need some coffee. And it's going to be, so there's an agreement for Mexico to guard. I think that they do come to some sort of a deal or arrangement. It does work out that there's a deal or an arrangement. And I feel like there will be long waits, long delays. It'll be a snail's pace for these families to gain entry, or a right to citizenship, or a right to asylum. So to sum this up with Suspiri, she's talking about this trip. Again, this trip, it may be misguided, or this port of entry issue here. There's something crooked or wrong. There's something crooked or wrong. Or illegal about this. And something will not come together as planned. This trip, or this talk, or this agreement, or this deal or arrangement, it won't go as planned. Remember, I said someone will back out or betray or not follow through. And so in the future there will be further unrest on these issues. It's not settled. It may seem settled, it's not settled. And it talks about waiting, it clarifies it. It talks about waiting in long delays at this border crossing. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be left in a state of uncertainty about their fate. And I feel like Putin is going to hold on to these seized ships. I feel like he's going to hold on to the seized ships. And he will continue to block Ukrainian trade. Because this would be business, commerce, trade. He's going to continue to block their trade overseas. There will be growing unrest. And things will not work out as planned or agreed to. The harmonious plan or agreement is just a bluff. The Seven of Wands is just a bluff to misguide, or to delay, or to block. Now this city house, I didn't tell you what the city house, I didn't go into it. Like I said, it could mean the White House. It could mean Trump's administration. It could be a local territory, the U.S. territory. Again, land, trade, commerce, business. It could stand for New York, any kind of city, New York, London, San Diego, a port city, a distant foreign city, because it's next to this ship here. And then there's some sort of a hold or a waiting regarding money. A lot of money, trade and money. So maybe there it is that Congress will agree to put some sort of sanction or block on Putin. I feel like Putin is going to stand his ground. And there may be some sort of sanction that is announced. But I feel like Trump is assuring him it's a bluff, or it's not going to happen. He'll do what he can not to follow through with it, or to delay it, something like that. And there's him putting up blocks to delay other people's rights to asylum, to the land. And I also feel, like I said before when we started out, this is my Cohen confessing to his crimes, something about crimes in New York, crimes that can be tried in New York. He wants some kind of assurances to confess to these crimes. He has some kind of doubts. He wants some kind of assurances before he confesses to these crimes. So that's what I see, guys. I hope that this makes some sense to you. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you come back to these videos a month later and just see how it all played out. Thank you for your support of the channel, and thank you for your positive feedback. I appreciate you all, and many blessings and happy holidays. Remember, stay out of trouble. Don't talk religion, and don't talk politics. All right. God bless you. And we'll be talking again before Christmas. I just felt the need to employ that message to you guys. All right. Take care. Bye.